It was May 8th, 1970, when Paul McCartney's voice drifted through the radio with a simple message.
When I find myself in times of trouble,
Mother Mary comes to me.
speaking words of wisdom, let it be.
But here's the thing. The Beatles were already broken up. Let It Be, the final Beatles album, arrived like the ghost of Beatles' past. Its songs were written over a year ago. The band was completely fractured. And yet somehow it became the soft goodbye the entire world was in dire need of. This is the story of how Let It Be came to be after Abbey Road, and how this bittersweet epilogue became one of the most emotionally charged chapters in all of music history. The year was 1970, but for the songs, the year was 1969, or at least that's when most of them were written, mostly in early 1969, during the tumultuous, volatile Get Back sessions. After that, the band had actually moved on. They made Abbey Road and then quietly parted ways. And in the middle of it all, in the middle of this storm, as if things weren't already complicated enough, Apple decided to release a stopgap, a compilation called Hey Jude. It wasn't so much a studio album, more of like a clever patchwork of singles that hadn't made it onto albums in the US.
I need a job, so I wanna be a paperback writer. See how they run. They need you. Don't make it bad. Hey Jude, you do.
It kept the fans fed, but you know what? It also served to underscore just how much the band was already splintering. So let's just take a step back a second. So why did Let It Be come after Abbey Road? Simple, the footage. The band filmed those sessions for a documentary. Now here comes Apple Corps, and they wanted a film and an album to match. But the thing is, those tapes were messy. The energy was entirely ruptured, and no one really wanted to deal with it. No one had the bandwidth, until a certain controversial producer came to play. Enter Phil Spector, stage left. Phil Spector, the eccentric wall of sound mastermind, was brought in to clean up the chaos, essentially. He took the raw Get Back tapes and reshaped them, refined them. He added in choirs, orchestra, polish, refinement. Paul was horrified, especially with what he did to The Long and Winding Road. How dare he? Now, over here, we had John and George, who were fine with it. Impressed even. It was one final disagreement, one final tug of war, you get it, over what the Beatles even were anymore, and who got to decide. Listen to Let It Be. I'm serious, go, do it. And you can feel the cracks. George's I'm in Mine, the last song that the band recorded together.
I'm in mine, I'm in mine, I'm in mine. Now the frightened of leaving it, everyone's weaving it.
He's drenched in resignation. John's Across the Universe, celestial, but insanely distant.
Like endless rain into a paper cup. Nothing's gonna change my world.
Paul's title track, a heartfelt prayer written during the emotional storm of his mother's memory.
Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
And yet there's a plethora of beauty. There's connection. It's like the farewell hug that you can feel through the cold London air, all the way from the rooftop performances. The Let It Be documentary premiered just days after the album. And to many, it confirmed the rumors. It was time to face the music. The Beatles were over. The footage showed strain, silence, side eyes, and sorrow. It wasn't just a movie. It was a memorial. Fans wept, critics speculated, and for the first time, the Fab Four felt severed, human, mortal. The real reason Let It Be came after Abbey Road, it was simply shelved. The band couldn't face it, and they had no energy to finish it really after those grueling, intense Get Back sessions. So what did they do instead? They pivoted. They made Abbey Road, and then they were able to so neatly tie everything up with the end. How sweet and conclusive. It's only after that that the posthumous release came about, and that faded, distant, lingering echo of what they once were. Critics were split. Some called it lazy, morons. Others called it luminous, visionaries. But the fans, they embraced it. Let It Be became this sort of spiritual balm. It was this final journal entry from four young men who'd grown up in the public eye. And the title track, it wasn't just a song. It exceeded that. It was advice. It was a mantra, a call to action, and a soft request for peace from a band that had lost theirs. Paul McCartney, in his solo press release, dropped the bomb to the world. Yes, the Beatles were done. He didn't want to, but someone had to say it out loud. For years, Let It Be would carry the weight of that ending on its own, as if it alone broke the news to the world. And just like that, their story together ended. No encore, no grand finale tour, just one last LP, one last film, and a world forever changed. Let It Be wasn't just a goodbye. It was a gentle fade out, a final gift. Not delivered with extravagance and fireworks, but full of heart and grace. They didn't go out with a bang, no. They went out with Let It Be. And somehow, that was louder than any scream. But our journey with these Fab Four is far from over, okay? Far from it. So I'll see you tomorrow.